Hi, I'm Charlotte from Freezer Meals 101.
And I'm Christie. Glad to have you here.
Today Today Christie is going to teach all of us, me included, how to do homemade burger patties.
Charlotte is auditing the course.
Yes.
That's what we just decided. I don't mind touching raw meat, and one of us does mind touching raw meat. So I will be doing the mixing and the shaping of the patties. So you're gonna learn tips on how to do that, how to freeze them, how to cook them, I guess. And we have all kinds of great ideas for you because these are interesting burgers.
Yes, they are.
Go ahead and tell us.
So we're doing 3 different kinds of burgers for you today. We are doing our blue cheeseburger that we've done before and is a really nice one.
Mm-hmm.
But I know
it's not for everybody.
Yeah, not everyone likes blue cheese. And so we couldn't just do the blue cheeseburger because what if you're one of those people?
Right.
So we are also doing the we're doing Christie's Classic.
Yes, I have been making this burger for years. There are people that will argue that they don't like fillers in burgers, they don't like the breadcrumbs, they don't like the eggs, that it should just be the meat and the seasonings and you move on with your life. But the eggs and the breadcrumbs have a purpose. It's a binding agent. And so years ago, it was a meatloaf recipe that we really liked. We used it a lot. And I thought, if I omitted the milk in this, these would make pretty darn tasty hamburger patties. And so I make them, and I've made them into hamburger patties for years. So we're calling these the Christie Classic because I kind of invented it.
There you go.
I adapted it. How about that? I didn't invent it, but I adapted it. And that's what we all do, right? We all tweak recipes and make it your own. The last one we're doing, I am really excited about this one. It is a taco chicken burger. A, who doesn't love tacos? B, who doesn't love burgers?
And we've discovered that ground chicken is just so much cheaper than a lot of other meats. And so this is a way that you can also make a more frugal burger.
And who doesn't want to save money on their groceries right now?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
It's getting crazy out there.
So in fact,
next week we are doing an all frugal freezer meals video, and all the meals in there are going to be like under a certain dollar amount, and they'll feed a family. And so we've got that coming for you, so check that out. But in the meantime, we've got a video right there on money saving tips and how we are able to save a lot on our grocery bills doing freezer cooking, and how we save even more with some tips that we've amassed over the years. So the taco chicken burger,
not only is it good, it's value added. You want to call stuff cheap?
No,
we don't want to call it cheap, but there's high value there. It's going to be tasty, and it looks really good, and it's a little different, right? I think it's great to try new things. So we're going to make the patties. I'm going to show you some tips. We're going to freeze them. Do you know what I really want you to do? I want you to subscribe. I want you to like below. I want you to add comments, and I want you to come over and join us on our Facebook page because it is the best Facebook group on the planet, on the entirety of Facebook. And then I want you to join our membership group.
Yes, join the Freezer Meals 101 Club. I'll put the link down below because there you can get the recipes and create your own shopping lists. So it takes all of the work out of freezer cooking. Well, you actually have to still make the meals, but
yes,
it takes the brain
work out of it. It's really so much simpler, and we will go into big detail about that in another video. And if you have never seen one of our mega meal videos, there is one coming up in a few weeks.
It will be, actually, by the time you see this video, you can pop right up there and you can watch us make over 100 freezer meals. And they're good. We've already started eating them.
Yes, and we're excited about them. There's some classics in there that we've done many times, and there's some new ones that we wanted to try just so we could share them with you.
Totally. And some of them are not going to make it into the club because the one that we had last night was just me. I mean, my husband really liked it. One of our sons liked it, but
and so now we have to try it next. Like, I took something else out today, but we'll try it this week and we'll give feedback, and we decide these things before we just lay them on you and say, no, they're delicious.
Give
No,
me the
we
recipe.
do try them first, and they are delicious.
They
We
have to make
promise.
the cut. Okay, so for today,
Come with me, let's make some burgers. The first burger I'm going to make is the chicken taco burger. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ring off because gross. I'm going to put in here 1 pound of chicken. That's ground chicken. $6 for a pound of chicken. It's pretty cheap compared to the rest of everything else that's at the grocery store.
we're in Canada, so if you're in the US, these prices are going to be way cheaper for you.
Yes. And
But here, $6 for a pound of meat is really
We'll take
a good deal.
We'll
And we
take
got
it.
it on 15% off day, so it was
Even
$6 plus
minus
minus 15%.
which would be minus 60 cents minus another 30 cents. We got almost $1 off.
So yeah, $5.10.
Pretty good. We all talk about like me touching the meat and stuff, but you know what? You can do this with a spoon, right? Like I'm just gonna touch the meat when I get to the patties because this is kind of a chicken dump recipe. We're all gonna mix it in here. So 1 packet of taco seasoning. These are gonna be taco-y. They're gonna be wonderful. Sorry, it's noisy. Cooking is not a silent job. My mother, growing up, was a hummer. She wasn't a whistler. Everything she did, she hummed. And there was a little sachet, and that was 2. Jeez, I gotta
That was
count.
3.
Was it 3?
Yes.
4. And she would whistle and hum, and then she would say, oh shoot, was that 3 or was that 4? So I'm a lot like my mother. Hi Mom, love you. Half a cup of finely chopped onion, which I went back over it and really made it fine because it's one of those things you kind of want it to just blend right into the burger, right? So you want it pretty fine. Half a cup of chopped bell pepper. Half a cup not half a cup. 1 jalapeno with seeds in this case. You could make it without seeds if that's your jam. Cilantro, because what's a taco without cilantro, right?
This is gonna be awesome.
If you are one of those people that struggles with cilantro and it tastes like soap, omit the cilantro. It's okay.
Totally.
This calls for a tablespoon of olive oil. I'm just gonna eyeball it today. A little drizzle. And then more olive oil on the day of.
For cooking.
For cooking, for grilling. There are a few ways that you can cook these. You can do them in your air fryer for about 8 minutes, 2 patties. You can do them on a skillet, medium high heat for 5 minutes per side, or you can do them on a grill, which will be like 6 or 7 minutes per side. Listen, I don't know about you guys, but in Canada we tend to like our burgers fully cooked. I know Americans are big on the medium burger, but that is when you have fresh ground meat that hasn't had a chance to gather bacteria. You have to be very careful about your ground meat and cooking it thoroughly. This is chicken. There's no way you can do this medium.
No.
Now, because it's chicken, it's a lot leaner. There's not going to be as much fat mixed in here, and so you really can't overcook these. So use a thermometer. Really make sure it's 165 and that it's going to be safe and that it's no longer pink inside. You don't want to overcook them, but you cannot undercook them. So you're going to have to apply cooking skill to making these burgers.
We do not want anyone to get salmonella. Avoid that at all costs.
Please avoid salmonella. Yes. So tell me about how would you top this burger?
Ooh, definitely avocado because we're talking about a taco burger, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would do lettuce because in a taco you're gonna have lettuce, tomato, and avocado. I think
this
I
looks
might
pretty
do
mixed.
like an aioli that's
like a sriracha, like a hot sauce aioli.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do. But I don't think I would do onion. I usually do onion on burgers,
It has
but
onion
this
in
has
it.
onion in it and cilantro and stuff. So I think that I
Pretty
would
simple.
just do it very simple.
Yeah, I'm not somebody that loves a tall burger. They're hard
And
to eat.
like, I cheese, maybe.
Sprinkle a little cheddar on there.
Because in a taco, you're going to have cheddar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not a traditional taco. And you're
You
going to have
could
cojita, but...
Yeah. You could put a little bit of cabbage on here. Shredded cabbage, like a coleslaw type thing, like you would with a pulled pork.
Kind of like a fish taco?
Yeah. We should do those next. I'm going to pause here because we have to get the tray out.
Salmon burgers.
Yes, we could have. Oh, well.
Next year.
Next
summer,
year.
we're going to do some salmon burgers.
I'm going to get the tray. We're going to freeze these flat. I'm going to get a tray, put some parchment paper on there. We're going to freeze them flat in the deep freeze, in the freezer, and then pick them up one by one and put them in the bag so they won't stick together.
Yeah, that's an important step. You really only have two options when it comes to your patties. You're either going to flash freeze them or freeze them flat until they're frozen and then transfer them to a bag.
Mm-hmm. Your other option,
put paper in between them.
Put paper in between them. And I have, even cut up wax paper or parchment paper. Parchment paper is expensive. You can do it with wax paper. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then just put it in between. If I were at home, I would probably get out my kitchen scale and weigh them, but I'm not home, and that's okay. There is another way you can do it. You do not need a kitchen scale to make burgers. What we're gonna do, ends up being 1 cup. These might be a little bit on the big side. We'll eyeball it and see how it looks. So you fill that to 1 cup, and then I'm gonna literally just put my hand in there and make them in half.
Okay, if you're grossed out by touching raw meat,
you can wear gloves.
You can wear gloves. And I usually have gloves, but
these are really sticky.
They are sticky.
I would add a binding agent like breadcrumbs to these. You could do ground up tortilla chips.
You totally could.
Yeah, these are very sticky, but do you know what? We also need them to be moist.
That's true,
because of the chicken. So, all right, but those look pretty even. This one looks a tiny bit bigger.
They look pretty good.
I think they look okay. And now I'm just gonna scoop because,
Because your hand is dirty.
My hand's already dirty.
So you're doing half a cup per.
I'm making these in half a cup. Yep. I know, it looks really appetizing.
You're not convincing me here on touching the meat, but I would do it.
You're a mother, Charlotte. You've
touched way worse
things.
But I would do it with gloves if I had gloves. But
I don't need no
I seem to
gloves.
not have gloves right now.
It's okay. These are going to be good. I'm spreading them out. I don't know if these are going to be like regular burgers where they puff up, where they get that ball happening.
It's our first time doing homemade chicken burgers.
It is.
So.
Oh, I got enough to make 6 here. Oh yeah, I do. I think this is pretty good. Do those look okay to you?
I think they look as good as a homemade chicken burger can look.
I think they're okay.
I think they look good.
They're gonna be delicious. Ooh, do you know what we can do? We can mix and match. Because we're making a bunch of burgers today, we can mix and match and everybody can try some. All right. Because they're in pieces.
Good.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna put these in the freezer.
And I am gonna clear down and we're gonna start the next one.
Whoa! That was almost a disaster. Don't do that.
Don't do this at home, kids. I am now going to make Christie's classic burgers. This one is doubled. The recipe I had that I adapted from the meatloaf recipe was 2 pounds of meatloaf, or 2 pounds of ground beef. So everything here is doubled, really, of what it could be. So I think when we write it up
for the club,
we'll
just do the one.
We'll just do the one, and then it doubles nicely.
Exactly.
Because I have 2 pans in my bowl here, I am going to use my hands. If I'm doing big batch at home, sometimes I'll use my mixer. I'll use my KitchenAid with the paddle and just mix it really well. So this one has 2 pounds of ground beef, half a cup of breadcrumbs, half a cup of graham cracker crumbs, which is a little weird.
That's fun.
But it adds a little bit of sweetness, and it's just, but not sweet like you can tell, it's just different, and it's kind of nice. A quarter cup of minced onion, 2 eggs, because the crumbs in the eggs make the binding agent, you know, makes the patties nice. A little bit of black pepper and some onion soup mix. This is a really great one. This would be a good one to add barbecue sauce to, a homemade barbecue sauce. Really good. So I am going to start with the eggs and get them mixed in there a little liquidy. Just a little bit beaten, because otherwise you're going to have a yolky part and a whitey part. Mm-hmm. And we want it mixed, right? We want it mixed. I'm going to add my onion because I will use my little cup later to make my patties. I am going to use, okay, I'm aware that this is a wet measuring cup and I am doing a dry measure, but I asked Charlotte where a half cup measuring cup was and she's like, I don't know, I lost it a long time ago.
I think it's in the sandbox. Like, you know, when your kids take your plastic measuring, anyway.
There. So when we do our mega sessions, I always bring mine because totally. I know that, like, she really just has a couple left.
Yep.
I know what I'm going to get you for, like, your birthday or your Christmas or something.
I'm getting measuring
You're getting measuring cups for me.
Right, so that you can use them when you come over.
Yeah. You're going to get a towel rack in your guest bathroom, too.
She's telling all my secrets today.
So half a cup of that, half a cup of the graham cracker crumbs. Honestly, I just freeze these. I don't use it. This is the only time I use my graham cracker crumbs because I'm not a cheesecake person. You know how people make the graham cracker crust for cheesecake? I don't like cheesecake. I know. I hear ya.
It's true. I'm not good at desserts. Christie makes amazing desserts. I am not so good at desserts.
Yeah, but I don't like cheesecake. I don't like Black Forest cake. I don't like coconut.
The only 2 desserts I knew how to make when I met Christie were both cheesecakes. And so they came over for supper one night. I think the first time we ever had them over for dinner, her and her husband. And
okay, I'm going to stop you for a second.
Yeah.
Because this is 3 tablespoons of onion soup mix, which is 1 package. Tacos, it's 4 tablespoons of the taco mix equals 1 package. Just so everybody knows.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go.
Carry on about our cheesecake story.
Okay, so then we had them over for dinner and I was like so happy because I only know how to make the 2 things for dessert and they're both cheesecakes, and so I'm not sure which I served them. One of them is like a double chocolate, like it has a layer of kind of like a whiter chocolate and then a chocolate and then a chocolate crust, and then you serve it with raspberries.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. And the other one
sounds good. They all sound delicious. Cheesecake sounds friggin' amazing. I shouldn't say friggin' on your TV show. And they do. Cheesecake sounds really amazing, but for me it's a texture thing. Carry on.
No,
I don't remember this story.
And then the other one, I'm trying to think what my other cheesecake was. I know it had a graham crust. I used to make it all the time. I obviously don't make it very much anymore because Christie's usually at my dinner parties now, and I can't have cheesecake with her.
You can make whatever you want, or you would ask me to make the dessert, and I'll bring it.
Yes. So now I don't make as much cheesecake, but yes, I was all proud of myself, and then she was like, "I don't like cheesecake," and me being like who I am, I thought, well, everyone likes this cheesecake, so I made her try a bite. And I'm like, surprised we're still friends.
It's still just cheesecake. Okay, here is something really funny. Occasionally, I will still try the cheesecake because I'm like...
Because it sounds good.
One of these days, I'm going to like it. I did that with olives. As a kid, I didn't like green olives. Every couple of years, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to try one. Now I love olives. So it
could happen.
It could happen.
Cheesecake could be in the future.
You're not a dessert person, but I made a bread pudding one time that you really liked.
Yes.
It had a rum sauce. It was good.
It's really good.
Yes.
Your bread pudding is something I will eat. And I think I'm not a dessert person as far as eating desserts. So of course I'm not that good at making them.
Yes.
But you have a rhubarb platz that's really good.
With
rhubarb from your garden.
How could you not love this? It's pie crust, then you sprinkle chopped rhubarb on it. Pretty chunky. drizzle it with, like, sprinkle sugar on it, and then it's a cake batter on top of that, and you bake it all at once.
It's pie and cake.
It's pie and cake.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Okay, there's quite a bit going on in here. Look at all that. That's going to be a lot of patties. So I'm going to make some room. And I'm really good at doing everything with one hand, so I don't have to, like... And do you know what we're going to do this time? We're going to wing it.
Okay.
I'm going to wing it, because do you know what? You can wing it. That feels like a good size patty right there in my hand. You make the ball, you squish it out. There. Because I doubled this, I got to fit a lot more on my sheet this time. Go in the freezer.
Okay, this time I am not going to tilt it up to show you. I'm just gonna be like, there's burgers here. I'm gonna put them in the freezer now. So we're gonna do the blue cheeseburgers, and while I say we loosely, Christie is going to do the blue cheeseburgers.
Mix the blue cheeseburgers. These are delicious, but you have to like blue cheese.
Yeah, they have a decent amount of blue cheese in them. So if you don't like, I mean, I like blue cheese so much that I put blue cheese on my garden burgers all the time. Like I top them with blue cheese.
Yes, if we have a barbecue at their house, there is a package of blue cheese sitting out. And
yeah,
it's usually just Charlotte that has it.
My husband likes it too.
He likes it too. Yeah, and I mean, wedge salad has made the rounds in our supper club. We're in a supper club.
It's so fun.
It is so fun.
There's 4 couples, like Christy and her husband and me and my husband and 2 other couples, and we take turns cooking.
We get together, we try once a month. The pandemic kind of shook things up a bit and made it hard to get together.
Yeah.
And so we are getting back into the groove of it, where we take turns at each other's houses, and there are only a few rules. One of them is no kids, unless you are the host couple. Your children can be there.
Yep.
The other rule is if you are the host couple, you plan the meal, you plan the dessert, you plan the appetizer, you plan the wine, you do all the cooking, and you do all the cleanup. The guests are just guests.
You just show up. So 3 of the months out of 4, you just have to show up. You don't bring anything, and then the other month, I mean, you do all the
You're
work.
on.
But
you do the work.
It's worth it.
It totally is.
It's so fun. And then the other rule is that's all the rules, right?
That's really all the official rules.
And then we do have like themes, or
sometimes we do
themes,
or just whatever you're interested. And everybody cooks a little bit different. So I'm a meat and potatoes kind of cook. Charla gets into the theme. We had Caesars one night that were like the hamburger on the Caesar. Like it was crazy. Caesars are a Canadian drink that's kind of like a Bloody Mary, but
yes.
they're better.
So we had a whole like Caesar bar.
Yes.
And we've done Thai because my husband learned how to cook Thai food in Thailand, and so he's really good at Thai cooking. So
yes.
we've done Thai and Ethiopian. 2 of our kids are from Ethiopia, and so I can cook Ethiopian. And we've done we've done Mexican nights.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other couples did like a pub night, and
yes,
they had
elevated
like
pub
flights
food.
of beer and elevated pub
Or
food.
they'll pick an ingredient and be like, everything is made with blackberries, or everything is made with bacon. That was probably my favorite.
Oh yeah, they did.
They had a burger night that had the pineapple soaked in Fireball and then rotisserie on the grill, and it was
that was
insane.
That was
I could have just eaten the pineapple. And then
one of the ladies, she
threatens.
She had lived in Mexico, and so she makes like homemade tortillas, and she does these amazing fish tacos. Actually, all her tacos. She's done like chicken tacos.
She's a good cook. She says she's not a good cook, and she threatens to make craft dinner, which is like mac and cheese, every time we go to her house, and like she hasn't yet. That's not true.
But they had a theme night, and it was so fun. This is ridiculous. Okay,
We're not even making
I'm sorry,
burgers anymore. We have to tell you this.
I'm going to make you jealous and want to join our supper club because this was so fun. Okay,
so fun.
They were telling us that we had to guess the theme. They said we had to wear green. So one of the girls,
and they said, "Do you want to be picked up, or do you want to drive yourselves? If you want to be picked up, be ready at this time."
And so one of the girls only had green pajamas. So she wore like green pajamas.
But
I had a green dress.
I have a green dress, but did I wear this? No, I wore a green top that had the wheat pattern. But the green pajamas girl wore a really fancy necklace with it. It was so funny.
It was so awesome. She had like
awesome.
the full pajamas and then like this, very. And then we got picked up in this 1980s, 1990s limo.
With plush red velvet seats. They have one. He's a collector. He's a car guy.
He's an interesting guy.
And he's like, we have Kijiji here, but it's like Craigslist, where like he just saw it and he's like, I have to buy that. And they have a bunch of kids, so it works out.
Yeah, they can all fit.
He picked us up in a limo. We're wearing green, and we got there, and what was on the menu? There was craft dinner, but it was like homemade macaroni and cheese. Like it was really good. It wasn't just craft dinner. There were bacon wrapped gourmet ketchups that she had made herself with little signs. Yeah. Pre-wrapped sausages and pre-wrapped bacon.
And they had on the wall, their kids had gotten involved and helped decorate. And so on the wall they had
like Picasso kind of art
kind of stuff happening.
And they were playing Simon and Garfunkel.
Got money.
We each got money?
Yeah.
On our plate?
Like in front of our plates was money. I mean fake money.
And so, can you guess what the theme was? Because it really took us a long time for being
so
very
long.
obvious.
Yes.
It was If I Had $1 Million by the Bare Naked Ladies, which is a very beloved Canadian band. And that's their biggest song.
And go look up that song. The lyrics are hilarious.
And it's everything. Everything was in their theme.
But not a real green dress. That's cruel. Like green dress was in there. The limo was in there.
If I had $1 million, I'd still eat craft dinner. Of course we would eat craft dinner. We'd just eat it with really fancy ketchups.
Which she had. It was awesome. They went all out. And so, we love our supper club.
We love our supper club. And we love our supper club people. And it's on Friday. We get to go on Friday and have supper club.
So we've been talking about only a couple more days till we've got supper club this week. So
it's true.
Okay, now that we've made you jealous about supper club, and I don't even remember how we got there, I'm sorry.
You're gonna have to look back in the video and see the segue.
Forward if you are just here just for the recipes and do not care about our personal lives at all, then just forward to where you see the burger being made. But okay, we're back to the burger.
burger.
We have 2 cloves of garlic. 4 cloves of garlic, finely chopped.
I'm just doing like a big blob because that seems forward.
We've got 2 teaspoons of olive oil, so hardly anything, just a little
And I'm going to eyeball it because these are...
That's plenty. 2 pounds of lean ground beef, which we've got in there.
It's in there.
6 ounces of blue cheese crumbled.
So let me take my time. Go ahead and keep reading.
And we're going to have some salt, some pepper, some Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire.
And we've got a third of a cup
What's your sister
sweet
sauce?
onion.
Rooster sauce.
Rooster sauce. All the names.
You guys are going to tell us in the comments, no, it's Worcestershire. And then you're going to start arguing about it because no, in England we say it this way, but in Australia we say it this way. And no, but in this little teeny tiny part of Liverpool we say it this way.
We can never get that one right.
We've been practicing.
Yeah, we're getting better.
We
can kind of say it now.
Worcestershire.
And parsley. And we're just mixing everything together and then forming the mixture into patties. Okay, so while Christie is crumbling the blue cheese over there, I want to ask you.
It smells really good.
Now it makes me want to make a Cobb salad or something.
Right? I am totally getting Cobb salad vibes. We had that at. I made a wedge salad one time for supper club.
Yes, you did.
And we found out then that one of our guests does not like blue cheese.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
discovered that.
Yeah.
And it's interesting too because we have to.
I have to wash my hands after this.
There's some allergies that we have to accommodate, and so we're adapting for allergies or things people don't like. One person doesn't like mushrooms. Christie doesn't like coconut. Some people don't like spicy.
She's allergic to celery
And broccoli.
but how do you
And bananas. Oh,
but how do you make stuff without
celery.
and one of them, we love him, so we continue to keep him in supper club because we love him. He doesn't do eggs or cheese or dairy or gluten. It's rough.
It's getting more, but anyway, it's worth it. We have such great conversation.
We really do.
And okay,
Sorry.
so while Christie's doing that, I want to know, how do you shape your patties? Because I know there's lots of tips and tricks out there for...
Sorry, I'm so loud.
Yeah, you're fine.
I'm loud anyway. I don't know if you know this, I'm a loud person. Anyway,
And the measuring spoons don't make you any quieter, So if you have a tried and true way that you shape your patties or measure your patties, then let us know in the comments because we're always looking to learn.
Sometimes you can get those little patty presses. Have you ever seen those on Amazon? I think Pepper Jeff has one. Yeah, super helpful to do that, and you don't have to touch the meat.
And you don't have to touch the meat. So if you have a way, I think some people shape it into a log and slice it.
At Costco, you can get a giant log and just cut the packaging off lengthwise, and you can do that. And then it's just meat in a patty.
Just meat.
There's no seasoning. There's no binding. There's no.
Yeah, it doesn't
It's just
sound that
meat.
delicious to me. But anyway, so let us know in the comments how you shape your patties and if you have any good suggestions for us or for the other people too. And now Christie is going to do her magic and mix and shape blue cheese hamburger patties. Oh, me.
So the blue cheese is kind of crumbled in there, but I'm still crumbling it more. I'm squishing it. But it smells really good.
It's a good one.
It is a good one.
I mean, I say this having not ever eaten it, but I hear. Mark really liked it.
Yeah. This is good.
You got some blue cheese on the side right there.
Up here?
Yeah.
Oh, we have to get that in there.
Don't want to leave that out.
As soon as you put blue cheese in something, you kind of elevate it, don't you?
Yes. It's like we are fancy people.
With our pre-wrapped bacon and our pre-wrapped sausages and our fancy ketchups.
And our fancy
Dijon ketchup.
That's right.
Oh, we have fun. Do you know what? Charla and I come to the conclusion of a lot. Life is about relationships.
Totally.
And
who is in your life? That matters.
Yep, and is what's more important, doing the thing or seeing the person? And it's always seeing the person. Now, if you can do the thing while you see the person, win-win. But
we get to cook and see each other and visit and get something done.
No egg in here, no breadcrumbs.
Nope.
Feels like a good patty. Feeling pretty good about this. That is a good-looking burger.
It does look nice.
I'm
happy with that.
I'm glad it has that little smattering of parsley in there.
Gives it a little pop.
And garlic, because
garlic.
I've said this before, and I've told you this before. If you ever watch Rachel Ray on TV, she'll give you a 5-ingredient recipe, but it also has salt, pepper, and garlic in it, and she doesn't consider those as ingredients.
Because they just should
They're
be
just
in everything.
automatically in everything. Yeah. Charlotte recreated some. We went out for supper at a restaurant one time that had the appetizer was several different kinds of bruschetta on the crostini, and one of them was Parmesan and garlic flakes mixed together.
It was artichoke.
Oh, artichoke.
Spinach, and
Garlic.
lots of garlic.
And sliced,
Parmesan.
sliced garlic, right? Like you take
Yeah.
the clove and slice it. It wasn't minced. And so I was her taste tester because I was with her the night that we had it. And it was like one of the best things I've
so
ever
good.
eaten. And
I had to find a way to make it at home.
she kept saying, what is it? What does it need? More salt, more garlic. What does it need? More salt, more garlic. And so after a while it became an inside joke. Everything that I eat just needs more salt and more garlic.
Yep.
It's true. So would you make these with a fancy brioche bun since they're fancy?
Yeah, you know those ones at Cobb's that have, I would just use those. Like they're called the gourmet hamburger buns. And so I think they do an egg wash on top.
Yeah.
So it has like a little tinge of sweetness.
Yeah, and
I
they're
would just do
shiny
those.
and have
Yeah.
a bit of I hear ya. Cobb's is a bakery here that
Local
has
bakery, yeah.
Yeah, it is a local bakery. Do you know what I like about them, and I'm sure other bakeries do this, is at 6 o'clock when they shut their doors, anything that hasn't been sold, they donate to
Yes.
shelters and stuff, which I think is really cool.
And they don't use preservatives, which
Yeah, so
I
they
like.
actually put this, like, a disclaimer on their receipt or someplace. They're like, why does our bread mold so fast? Well, because we don't use preservatives.
Right.
You got to get at it. You got to get eating. And it freezes well. It's good bread.
okay, I'm going to try to show you. Blue cheeseburgers.
Yay! How easy was that? That was great.
It was
And
really easy for me.
It was a lot easier for you than it was for me. But you know what? I had fun doing it because I just love hanging out with you. I could come cook here every day.
You all need a cooking buddy.
I
just
almost do
makes
come here
sense.
and cook every day. It feels like I'm here a lot.
It's getting there.
Yeah. But we ended up with chicken taco burgers, blue cheeseburgers, and I was thinking about it. You could probably, if you weren't a blue cheese fan, you could put any kind of cheese you wanted in there. It would have to
if
be a
it
harder
crumbles
cheese, a
well.
crumbly cheese. Feta
Yeah.
burgers?
Oh,
Greek feta burgers?
would totally work. And you could put Greek seasoning in there instead of the parsley.
Little
Or in
bit of
addition to the
peppers.
parsley. Yeah.
Top it
Burgers.
with olive tapenade.
Oh, see?
It doesn't have to be perfect. You just gotta have a bit of imagination and be a little bit brave sometimes.
Okay, so when we...
Oh, the last burger. The Christie's
yeah.
Classic burger.
Christie's
Sorry.
Classic. Yes, well, we couldn't forget Christie's
Christie's
Classic.
Classic burger.
When we took these out to put them in the freezer after we flash froze them, we did end up putting some parchment paper in between just the chicken taco burgers because they were a little bit, wetter.
Tacky, little wetter.
And we hadn't waited long enough for them to fully freeze. And so we did end up using some parchment paper in between those. The other ones, they were a nice patty-ish and we could just
Easy peasy.
freeze them in the bag and they won't stick together because we froze them flat first. So I hope we were able to give you, I hope Christie was able to give you some great tips and that you learned about making your homemade patties.
Put my ring back on.
Oh, yes.
I'm clean again. Lots of soap and, the kitchen scrub brush gets under my nails just as good as anything else. Everything can wash, right?
You're back to new.
I'm back to new.
Thank you for joining us today. We're going to put a video right there to that big mega session of over 100 freezer meals that we did. So if you're interested in learning how to make more than just patties, up over there.
Up over there. Also, be sure to join us in our Facebook group because it is a wonderful place to be, Freezer Meals 101. Join our membership club and you can be one of us. And
so fun.
if nothing else, leave us a comment below. Tell us how you like your burgers. Tell us how you make your burgers, how you shape your burgers, your favorite kind of burger. Ask us questions. We are pretty responsive. We try to get back to you as fast as we can. And we just want to engage with you. We love it.
Happy cooking.